Yuyushiki is a 2013 slice-of-life anime based on the 2008 manga by Komata Mikami. It stars, surprise surprise, 3 high school girls, Yui, who shares the same personality, voice actor, and name as Yui from Yuri, Yuzuko, who is the typical hyperactive annoying personality type, and Yukari, who's normally more laid back but is easily enabled by Yuzuko's weirdness. The 3 of them join their school's data processing club after seeing it had 0 members. Whatever the data processing club originally did is a complete mystery, as all the girls do is sit around googling things and talking to each other. At first glance, Yuyushiki seems to be about as standard as they come. There isn't much of anything to the characters' personalities outside of the basic bokeh-sukome slice-of-life relationship, and there's nothing exciting or interesting about the setting, which really is just a high school. But as I watched more, its unique traits began to shine through. Yuyushiki has a special sense of humor in the slice-of-life genre, in that most of the jokes come right out of the dialogue between the characters. Most shows rely on putting their characters in bizarre situations or using an over-the-top animation style, but in Yuyushiki, the funniest scenes are just the characters sitting around a table and talking. The conversation may start ordinarily enough, but they quickly devolve into absurdity. Sometimes they'll come up with really weird ideas, sometimes they get strangely profound. Most of the time though, they'll just end in giggle fits over completely meaningless things. The dialogue is certainly weird and hilarious, but I was amazed to find that it was also uncannily realistic. The conversations sound like conversations between real people, or at least real high schoolers. They go on tangents, they forget where they are going, they make small inconsequential remarks, they develop their own inside jokes, and there's never any sort of end goal in their conversations. They're just enjoying talking to each other, regardless of how absurd or offbeat the conversation gets. I've never seen a show more accurately portray the sort of conversations I tend to have with my friends. To that end, I found it to be a great show for those nights when my friends all forgot to invite me to hang out with them. Crippling loneliness aside, on top of the excellent dialogue, Yuyushiki boasts a great visual style. The character designs are unique and cute, but not excessive. The jokes are often accentuated with the help of some snappy editing, and the characters are endlessly expressive. Yuyushiki is particularly fond of playing with the eyes of its characters. Nearly every joke is accompanied by someone doing something weird with their eyes, which often makes me laugh more than the dialogue itself. It's also clear that Yuyushiki put a great amount of care into the way the characters move. Sometimes it can be as simple as their body language while talking, but even the more movement-oriented scenes show a remarkable fluidity and realism in the animation. In particular, the legs and walk cycles in the show are exceptionally well animated, which is just as well really because the skirts are also exceptionally short. On that note, the show is relatively light on fan service, but not completely devoid of it. I suppose that could be either a pro or a con depending on your personal preference. Really, for a dialogue-centered show, I suppose it's only logical that most of the fan service is in the dialogue. The group's conversations will occasionally drift into lewd topics, but you rarely actually see much of anything lewd. Yuyushiki is not without its faults, of course. There are a lot of jokes that rely on wordplay in Japanese. The subtitles I had tried their best to explain some of them, but there were still a large amount of jokes that simply failed to make it over the language barrier, or at least I assume so. It's either that or some of the jokes just make literally no sense. By far my biggest complaint about the series, however, is the fact that the teacher in the series has the nickname of Mom from the students. I thought I'd get used to it, but the awkwardness of calling a teacher Mom continued to make me cringe slightly every single time throughout the whole series. All in all, Yuyushiki may not be the best slice-of-life anime I've seen, but it's certainly not the worst. The strong focus on natural-sounding dialogue and well-animated characters does enough to make the show unique, but not enough to make it exceptional. If you're unfamiliar with slice of life and are looking for a series to introduce you to the genre, then Yuyushiki may work, but there are a lot of series that are either funnier, better animated, or cuter that I would much sooner recommend as a first slice of life. But perhaps you're like me, where you're already a fan of slice of life and you just need another show to satisfy your sick addiction. You're not looking for something incredible or life-changing, but at least want something of decently high quality. If that sounds like you, then I can very strongly recommend Yuyushiki as a decently high quality slice of life anime. Thanks for watching.